that it doesn't materialize.
And a matter of fact, as you said, the whole issue with China, the NDP has skillfully
avoided speaking about it.
They have not made any pronouncement
And
on
they've
going
avoided
towards China
going
or
into
Taiwan.
any further depths with CBI.
Yeah,
They've left that alone and
like you said,
concentrated
Dr.
on...
Dunsey is the one who was pushing that out there people.
Yeah, but they concentrated on change.
Yeah, they just promise all kind of things, make a lot of promises. The manifesto is very easy to read, very, very skimpy on content. But when you got people jumping up every day in a carnival, who cares about content? Who cares about really reading a manifesto?
And that is sad.
The time for change is a very powerful slogan, especially when you have been in office for 24 years. It's just the same with NDP. They were doing good things, but they were for 17 years, and the time for change actually created some mobilization and the downfall of the NDP. It was always going to be very difficult for the UNP at this stage to be able to convince the young people who are used to something. They're not aware so much of what happened in the past with their parents. They were used to living a certain type of life, and they want to get something better. They think that perhaps if there's a change, things will get better. And so they didn't have to be part of the struggle to be able to create this environment for them. So they don't have much. It's like, for example, the current West Indies cricket team. The previous players understood what it's like to be yes, I was there.
That's your job.
The strength, the emotions and so on, the feeling coming out of the Black Power movement of those things in our history. Now these people don't need to think about those things at all anymore. They just want to build.
Very interesting discourse. Let's get some results from West St. George, and we'll come back to that.
Yes, West St. George, we're looking at the government school in Belmont. We're seeing from A to Z, we're seeing 522 persons registered in this area. And we are looking at the ULP, 129. That's the ULP, Curtis King, 129, while the NDP, 169. The NDP, 169, Kashaka Cupid. IND, Kenna Kittels. We're seeing her for the first time, and she has 666. We do have cast 306 cast and reject 2, 306 cast, reject 2, while we are looking also in D3 at the West St. George Secondary School, the West St. George Secondary School in Bel Air. We're seeing 342 persons, surnames Q to Z, and we're seeing the ULP at 48. That's the ULP at 48, while the NDP 154, the NDP 154, and IND, that's Kenna Kittels, that IND 2. Cast 204. Cast 204. We're also looking at the public works building E. The public works building, that's E, that's polling station E, public works building in Arnesville, registered as 472. Registered 472. That's the ULP at 119. The ULP at 119, 119. NDP 154, 154, and the IND 2. IND 2 in total cast 275. That would be location E, public work building in Arnesville. Cast 275. No rejects here.
The independent candidates actually got some votes.
Well, this is not, I don't know. Our electorate don't pay much attention to independent candidates. You have to have been a James F. Mitchell.
She's in my constituency, first time I'm seeing her. It's first time I'm seeing her. She's in my constituency, yes, sir.
Yeah. You count how many independents ever won a seat from 1951. Well, leave 51, go to 1966.
You were saying before people...
66, 67, you know what happened there.
Yes.
Right.
People vote for leaders.
Exactly.
You know,
Parties.
yeah.
Yeah.
Both
72,
Yeah,
74. You see what happened there? The 72, 74.
You have had some independence breaking through in Trinidad, in St. Lucia, with the benefit of an accommodation. So there are two independents now in St. Lucia with the benefit of accommodation, Fredericks and former Prime Minister Stephenson King. And then he's an independent for all intents and purposes. But I mean, we know, well, he used to be UWP, he's now independent. In Antigua recently, Michael won as an independent. But I mean, he basically bought the seat, which is something that most candidates can't do. But outside of those, you're right, the independents are of very little significance. So unless the independent has an accommodation of some sort with the
The personality.
Yeah.
Like James Mitchell.
Well, James Mitchell was a peculiar case. James Mitchell was in the Grenadines.
Yeah.
When you're in a place as small as the Grenadines, you can't be an independent because ultimately you have a direct relationship with everyone. So he would have been able to pull that off in those days, and he was lucky that he won it at a time when he could negotiate for leadership.
And he had had his declaration.
Of independence.
The Granny's declaration, which he never withdrew. He always had, until he died, he still had it on the table. So there's always a possibility of the Grenadines withdrawing from St. Vincent. So Jim stuck to that. But Peter, you were saying something, you got some new results there?
Yes, we do have some new results. We do have some new results, and those results are coming in West St. George. West St. George, we're looking here. We would at H1. This is at the Braxa building in Arnesville. H1. This is last name G to M 423. ULP 102. ULP 102. And the NDP 136, the NDP 136 represented by Kashaka Cupid, and IND1 cast 240. That's cast 240. We see one reject here. We also have Roy Summers House in Villa. Roy Summers House in Villa, A to Z, 218 persons registered. 218 persons registered. 44, the ULP, NDP 8080, and IND2 casted. We have 127, reject 1. We also have new results coming in, as you noted. You would see Juanita's Beauty Salon in Fountain. Juanita's Beauty Salon is Fountain, A to J. Registered is 429, ULP 118, while NDP 136, IND 6, cast 261. We are seeing one reject in this area. We're looking at the graph. The graph will show you 1,401 for the ULP, while the NDP 993, IND 29, reject 7 in total. We do have also results coming in for C. That's the Glad Tidings Tabernacle in Gome. We're looking at last names A to J, 445, ULP 133, NDP 139, IND2, cast 275, reject 1. C1, which is in the same area of the location for polling this C1. This is just not too far from the Tabernacle. This is at the Elite Gibson's residence. That's Elite Gibson, and that's Etty Gibson resident in Daphne. That's 311 persons registered here. 311 persons registered. We're seeing 87 for the ULP, 87 for the ULP, while the NDP at 102, the NDP, IND 2, IND 2, 193 cast, and 2 reject. 193 cast, 2 reject. We are awaiting other results, and when they do come in, we'll be able to give more of that.
Okay, thank you.
So, Ms. Rose, that's correct.
We have the correct total here.
Look at that and see if that is correct. Because
Oh, if the figures are called for wrong, I don't know.
We have results coming in for South Central Windward.
Okay,
we do have results coming in for South Central Windward also. South Central Windward. South Central Windward. We do have results. And we are seeing at the health center that's 240. We are noting 240, 65 ULP, 93 NDP, cast 158. Cast 158, and this is South Central Windward. South Central Windward. We also see in South Central Windward, location C, the Methodist Church in Newgrounds, 531, ULP 167, NDP 141, cast 309, reject we have 1, reject we have 1. We are looking through, we would see at the primary school in Greggs, H2, the primary school in Greggs, H2, N to Z, surnames N to Z, total registered 400, ULP 81, NDP 209, cast 291, cast 291, rejects 1. Looking at the graph, we will see NDP at 689, while the ULP 476, total rejects 2. That's all the results for now until they do come in again.
Okay, thank you. And the beat goes on.
The beat goes on, and let me just speak to the folks in the diaspora, especially those in the U.S. who are celebrating Thanksgiving today. And there's some person there who would have a lot to be thankful for. Some others who won't be able to digest their turkey. But that is life. That is life, isn't it?
It is.
Teresa, you're missing the turkey this year. You're a turkey, you're a New Yorker.
I'm not a turkey person.
Did you notice that during the campaign, both parties were getting a remarkable turnout? There were very large turnout at their rallies. Even at their meetings, and the events were very well attended by the supporters. And as you said earlier on, it only shows how split down the middle we are in with our politics. But another thing is that being there for 24 years is not easy.
It's not easy. But
you know, I still think that the ULP, notwithstanding that, seems to have been putting in a good showing. Because unlike 84 and 2001, when there was a wave movement away from, for example, Labour to NDP, and from NDP to ULP, we're not seeing that now. We're seeing some figures, 40 more, 20 more, but the performances are very similar. The differences are not that great. So you don't have this tsunami against the ULP.
No, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I'm not surprised. I mean, the ULP didn't come and they've been there. They've done some remarkable things. But like I said, people after a while say too long under that. You know, it's time for change, right? And I can give it, after people have gotten accustomed to a certain level of, I'm not talking about way of life. Like, it's no big deal to tell students nowadays they're going to university.
Because it's
when I went to university, it was a few of us.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you have 3,000 scholarships.
Yeah.
It's just like you're going from university. You know, even if you go into secondary school, you finish secondary school, then you're going to end up in a university. So, in fact, the Dr. Gonzalez reminds them all the time that, you know, you're going to university. So what? We are due this. you know. But you talk about the campaigns. Look, if I used to still hang out in the streets, and you give me some top artists from St. Vincent, for some international artists from St. Vincent and around the region, performing free, who's stopping me? With transport put in? I mean, you can't get a better deal than that anywhere. So if parties are gonna fool themselves that you rent a crowd,
You can't go by crowds anymore.
no, you'll be fooling yourself.
But even,
People go for
even
the
the
entertainment.
village.
I remember that with Barris Hammond.
Yes.
And I said, you could get Barris Hammond, come here, you go to a Barris Hammond concert.
Yeah.
And what's his name there? Third World, when they opened the Bridget Rabaca. There's an expectation when the elections come around. You're going to get big artists and you go. And people go for it.
And people are looking for the big artists.
No, but
who's
even
desperate.
even the village meetings, we speak about the rallies,
Yeah.
but at the village meetings, I was impressed with the turnout, both sides, both ULP and NDP, the number of persons who turned out at the village meetings. I assess the performance of a candidate not by virtue of the turnout at the rallies, but by the turnout at the
village
individual
meetings.
meetings.
But,
And I've seen that there's been an
But
improvement in that.
Linton, I'd argue, are the individual meetings really for just persons from the community?
No, what I'm saying is that you may find...
So
but
it's not a true reflection of what really is happening.
No, but
because
for the
people
most
follow,
part,
they
for the
are
most
followers
part,
as well.
For the most part, you find the people from the area. The people from the areas have been coming out.
Of course.
I've seen it. People from the respective areas, whether it was an NDP meeting or a ULP meeting, that's what I saw in the campaigns. And I was very impressed by that because I thought people wanted to hear the views of the party that they wish to support. So I'm not surprised that they're voting in the way that they're voting, even though their differences are not that great.
I differ from you in terms of people going to meetings to hear the views, you know. The people going to hear the views of the politicians, get them from reading, get them from interacting with them in the radio programs.
Not only that, there's a difference these days. Even the village meetings, as you say, people in the village, but you're streaming it,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
and you
I
don't need
followed
to
the
go
entire
anymore.
campaign from home.
Yeah, you can
Because I
stay at
have a
home and see
problem
it.
driving at night. I followed the entire campaign from home. And if I was reporting for a newspaper, I could have done it effectively from the comforts of my couch.
You're right.
So what else you got for us on the board? Nothing?
Let's go to North Leeward to see.
We
do
haven't
have-
had any
We
results.
do have some results for North Leeward.
Absolutely.
We do have,
Most of their things are in though.
yes, we do
Yes,
have,
they're
we
all
do
there.
have here, we do have North Leeward. At A, Learning Resource Center, this is at the Golden Grove, this is the Learning Resource Center. We do have A to Z, 352 persons registered, ULP 87. The ULP 87, that's for Carlos James, and NDP 175. 175 for Kishore Shallow, Dr. Kishore Shallow. Cast would be 263, one reject in this area. We're looking at B1 Government School in Fitzhughes. This is at K to Z last names and 453 persons registered. We have 89 for the ULP, 89 for the ULP, 227 for the NDP. Cast would be 320, that's 320. Reject 4, rejects 4. And for C, Methodist Church at Chateaubriand, we would see here 417 registered, 417 registered. ULP 131, ULP 131. NDP 156, cast 289, rejects 2. That's 289 cast, rejects 2. We are going down at D, and this is in the same similar area in Chateaubriand at the Methodist School, and we see 361 persons. That's surnames A to J, 361, ULP 9090, NDP 158, cast 249. That's 249, looking at rejects at 1. Rejects at 1. D1, similar. D1, similar area. This is at K to Z, 2 291 registered, 85 persons. For the ULP would have cast 115 NDP, 115 NDP. Total cast 200. Total cast 200. No rejects here. No rejects here. The P.T. Bedell Secondary School, this is in polling division E. We're looking at 400 persons here. There's no results has come in for this. However, at E1 at the Technical Institute, at the P.T. Bedell Technical Institute, this is at North Leeward, we see 455, 96 for the ULP, while 227 for the NDP. 227 for the NDP, cast 3 to 3, cast 3 to 3, rejects are none, and the community center in Rosebank, this is F, polling division F, community center in Rosebank, we're looking at A to Z at 567, 258 the ULP, while the NDP at 150, 150. In total cast 408. That's 408. And we are going. This is persons who have voted. That's 408. Yes. We have polling division H. Polling division H in Rose Hall. This is at the government school. A to R. 464 registered to vote. We see for the ULP 183, and the NDP at 108. That's 108. We have persons cast. Votes here is 292. That's 292. While we have one reject in this area. We seeing H1 in the same vicinity. This is S to Z. This is 354 registered, 159 for the ULP, while NDP at 98, and cast would be 258, one reject in this area. We're going to be continuing down, and I has not come in as yet. However, J at the Methodist School in Spring Village, A to I, surnames and register is 447. We're noting at 134 for the ULP, while the NDP at 184. Total cast would be 322 cast votes. That's 322. In total reject, we would see here 4. Total reject 4. We're looking at the chart. We will see on the chart for Dr. Kishore Shallow, 1,598. That's 1,598, while the ULP for Carlos James at 1,312. 1,312. Total rejects 14. That's total rejects 14. Teresa, back to you.
Thank you. Looking at just about 4 or so constituencies, polling stations left in that particular constituency. Certainly looks Kishore Shallow is going to take that home.
Yes, that's very obvious. And
Any surprise there?
No, that's not surprising. I got that impression. Kishore Shallow was very, very confident that he was going to win. And he conducted his campaign in that way. In a discussion with me, he was clear. He said, I am going to win. I have no doubt about that. And I found it strange that he was so confident. But I wasn't hearing the same thing coming from Carlos. It was as if to say he was there hoping to, trying his best to do what he could, but you saw this confidence being oozed from Dr. Shallow that I'm going to. It's a foregone conclusion. He conducted his campaign as if it was a foregone conclusion. Not that he was trying to win. He was confident that he was going to win.
Yeah, his body language always included that. And I thought it was, because it could have been good theater, which is not bad for politics. If you can project the image of confidence in going to win. But let's face it, Carlos had a mountain to climb. Carlos had the very unpopular, for instance, Reno project in North Leeward. He's a tourism minister, and the NDP fruit at him all the time. You're tourism minister, what are you doing for tourism in North Leeward, which should be the ecotourism capital? Poor Carlos just, he put up a good fight. He put up a good fight.
He held the traditional labor stronghold.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's it. But he wasn't able to persuade or to pull votes. In that. Fitzhugh's, no, that would be a very great mountain to climb.
Yes,
but outside of Fitzhugh's, he wasn't able to pull that support using his ministerial profile and getting so many firsts, etc. But it didn't translate in North Leeward.
Again,
but you see, North Leeward is a very strange seat. You don't care what national politics do.
No. That's a separate whole.
They are in a different country by themselves. They vote who they wish to. And I've noticed that Patrick Matthews actually gave to Dr. Shallow a Petty-Manilde area, where Patrick was from. And he just transferred it by his support for Dr. Shallow and transferred it. He was there with him. So he didn't have a problem getting those votes that were passed from Patrick Matthews.
Bearing in mind that what was the margin in the last 2 elections?
Yep.
Which is the point that I was waiting to get to, because I think that, I mean, what you guys said is important, but I think the most striking thing for me is the mountain that you have to climb is really not that high. It wasn't even an incline.
Yeah.
You know, coming out of the last election, this was the weakest seat for the ULP.
I mean,
so to me, it's pretty obvious that he's gonna win, and he has. And what's interesting is that when I look at his numbers, his personal performance has exceeded what was necessary to win the seat. So he's already at a 5% swing.
Yeah.
If that type of performance is manifested nationally, I mean, every single seat except Dr. Gonzalez is in jeopardy. And I mean, I'm hearing rumors about, you know, having saved several seats, but it clearly, unless the national swing is unevenly distributed, which is entirely possible, you know, this is a very, very disturbing, well, if you support the ULP outcome, there's a definitive movement in that direction, and it's reflected here. But yeah, no, I mean, you know, congratulations to Dr. Swallow, but his seat was the easiest one to win.
It's not that he was defending a 300 votes. As a matter of fact, Dr. Shallow had a way that he would dismissively refer to Carlos James as 1E. Either 1E or 1Z.
One Carlos.
No, that one Carlos was a classic from Fitz Bramble in Parliament, where he referred to Carlos James as Juan Carlos, like the Spanish name, you know. But
no, the one was the one vote.
Yeah. So that's why Shallow called.
He used the Spanish name.
Shallow just called him 1E. 1E, you know, 1E, and dismissively, like, you know, like, I don't have no fight with you, you know, 1E, you know. And he wasn't fighting Carlos, he just built his campaign very confidently. And I think that's what we see in the results. Carlos did well.
Do we have more
I mean,
results?
Carlos did surprisingly well to get 1,300 votes.
It don't surprise me, he's working.
To get 1,300 votes is a miracle in itself. This is a walk through the park.
This is complete?
This is complete at all the polling stations.
We do have Northern Grenadines B. Polling station B, we do have Northern Grenadines coming in, and we're looking at the learning center at Port Elizabeth. This is an A to Z, 600 registered votes here, 604 registered votes here. The ULP at 54. The ULP at 54, while we have NDP at 265. NDP at 265, cast ballots here would be 3-1. That's cast, it would be 3-1, rejects 2. And we are looking at the full slew of the Northern Grenadines here. On our graph, we would note 1,853 for the NDP, which is Dr. Godwin Friday, Northern Grenadines Dr. Godwin Friday, 1,853, while we see Carlos Williams at 294. Total reject here 11. Total reject here 11.
What was his last score? What was his last numbers?
He lost his deposit.
Yeah, he lost his deposit. What is his last numbers in 2020?
You mean Carlos Williams? Kill the camera.
When these chairs give all your insurance money. What happened to the back?
You just fell away.
Yep, I ain't even look back on it. Yeah, I know, I don't know how to do it.
Is something that can be reattached?
Lucky this wasn't on screen.
Welcome back. This is Decision 2025, and we are bringing you live coverage of the 2025 general elections, which took place here in St. Vincent and the Grenadines earlier today. I think we may have some results. We can go straight to them as we resume our broadcast.
Yes, thank you so much, Teresa. We do have some results, but we do have North Windward. But before we go there, we're going to be looking at Southern Grenadines. As we can see from the polling stations, all counts are in, and the graph, we will be looking at the graph from our perspective at the Public Information Network. We will be noting that Northern Grenadines is won by the NDP Terence Oliver, 1,172, 609.
Okay, so there we have it. Southern Grenadines, we can declare Southern Grenadines, of course, not unexpectedly so. Terence Oliver of the New Democratic Party taking that, according to our count, 1,172 votes compared to Chevron Stewart of the ULP. Of course, the Southern Grenadines, that is Chevron Stewart with 609 votes. So Southern Grenadines declared for the NDP.
Just for academic interest, if we can stay there a bit, I wonder, anybody has some figures in how,
Yes.
the comparative?
Yes, he won by 21 votes more than he had the last time. And Snaggy had 564. So she got a bit more than what
Stewart
Snaggy
was an
got.
improvement on the former candidate.
Small improvement.
Yeah.
There was a 2% swing in favor of the ULP in that seat. So
2%.
I don't know if maybe 2% in the Grenadines is something that I want to
21
celebrate.
votes.
Yeah.
It's commendable.
It's commendable.
Yeah.
It's
First
commendable.
time candidate,
Yeah.
she, as you say, is a swing, so she must have done better than the previous candidate.
Yeah.
She did.
Yes.
And where do we go from here?
We'll be looking at North Windward H. North Windward. Yes, we'll be looking at North Windward H, and that would be at the Dixon Government School. Dixon Government School, we are seeing from A to Z registered 590 persons. 590. For the ULP, Grace Walters, 131, and NDP, 234. Cast ballots here is 371. Rejects in this, 6. Rejects 6. We will be looking at the chart for North Windward. We see Chevron John at 1,422, while Grace Walters at 883. The total reject 11 in North Windward. We have results also in South Central Windward. Sabota Caesar, Israel Bruce. This is in D1 Newgrounds Primary School. D1 Newgrounds Primary School. The last names K to Z. We're seeing registered votes for 387. Looking at the ULP, we see 132, while the NDP at 114. Total cast ballots here 246. We have no rejects. That would be at the primary school D1 at the Newgrounds Primary School. Total cast 246. Total registered 387. We also have Northern Grenadines E, and this Northern Grenadines E, we see Friendship Bay Villa, and this is in Friendship at A to I, which is last name A to I, 5 05505, ULP 48, while the NDP at 264. 264 cast here, cast ballots at 315, 315, rejects 3, rejects 3. We also see at the Anglican Primary School in A, we would note here B, this Anglican, the Learning Center at Port Elizabeth B, 604, 604, the ULP 54, while the NDP at 265, cast 321, reject, we see 2. Reject, we see 2. We are checking the score, the entirety here. We are still awaiting.
We just got Anglican Primary School,
Okay.
Port Elizabeth.
Yes, Port Elizabeth Anglican Primary School. We see 689 registered to vote here at A to Z. And we noted the ULP at 45, while the NDP Godwin Friday at 330. That's 330 cast ballots here, 337, 377, and the reject would be 2. That's the reject 2. Looking at the graph, we would see for Dr. Godwin Friday, 2,183. That's 2,183. While the ULP 339. That's 339. We see rejects 13. Rejects 13. As noted before, we do have Northern Grenadines A, Port Elizabeth Anglican Primary School, 689. And
I think we can safely declare Northern Grenadines as well.
definitely,
Yes.
we can definitely say this.
Definitely.
Yes.
What I wanted is the final figure.
Yeah.
You know?
These are the final figures for Northern Grenadines. Well, these are our results, and these are our figures for Northern Grenadines.
Isn't it?
Yes, they're all in, and the Northern Grenadines here, and the graph you would see. We do have 2,183 for the NDP Godwin Friday, while Carlos Williams 339, and we see 13 rejects.
So you got 57 more.
We also have North Central Windward B. We do have results from North Central Windward. Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, and with him Chieftain Neptune, the NDP. We see here for Georgetown Government School A to Z, 349 registered to vote, ULP 98, NDP 71. We had cast ballots here, 169. 169. There are no rejects. We're looking at the graph. We're looking at the graph. North Central Windward for the NDP 791, while the ULP 1815. We have 14 rejects. Going back, we're looking at F2, and F2 is at South Rivers, a Methodist school. We see M to Z, and 395 registered to vote in this area. 220 for the ULP, while 1717 for the NDP. Cast in this polling station would be 237. This polling F, that's F2, 237, rejects 0. We also have North Central Windward I. North Central Windward I is in the Connery District Office. This is at Connery District Office I. A to Z, we have registered 269. The ULP, we're looking at 117. NDP 55. NDP 55. Cast ballots. Here's 174, and 2 reject. Looking at the graph, you will see 791 for the NDP, 1815, ULP 14, and we have E1, the permanent government school in Byra. We have G, to M, surnames G to M, 331 registered to vote. The Unity Labour Party at 128. The Unity Labour Party at 128, while the NDP, the New Democratic Party, at 70, and we see cast here 198, 0 rejects. 198 cast ballots here, and the total registered to vote is 331. We also have E2 as well. E2 as well in this same vicinity. N to Z, we have 405 registered to vote, 405 registered, and the Unity Labour Party standing at 162. The count for the New Democratic Party, 103, the New Democratic Party, 103, and the cast in this area is 265. 265, there are no rejects. This is polling station E2. And we also want to look at polling station E. Polling station E, we would see A to F. A to F registered here are 366. The ULP, 163. That's 163, while the New Democratic Party stands at 65 votes. We also see cast 230. That's 230. Reject 2. Looking at polling station A at the Georgetown Secondary School, polling station A, we see 479 registered. The Unity Labour Party is at 110. That's 110. The Unity Labour Party, while the New Democratic Party is 146. That's 146. Cast would be 260. That's 260. Rejects 4. Looking further down, we will see D1. Further down, D1. This is at Chester Cottage at the Community Center. K to Z, we have 433. Unity Labour Party, 186. The NDP at 100. The New Democratic Party, 100. Cast, 289, and 3 reject. We're also looking at F, the Methodist School in South Rivers again. A to D, we have 463. For the Unity Labour Party, we see 262, while the New Democratic Party, 26. Cast would be 291. That's 291 with 3 rejects. 3 reject ballots. F1 again, we would have looked at E to L in this area. E to L, 435. 234 for the Unity Labour Party, while 34 for the New Democratic Party. That's 34 for the New Democratic Party. In total, looking at 268 cast ballots here. That's 268 and 0 rejects in this area. We have F2. Further down. M to Z, 395. 220 for the Unity Labour Party, the New Democratic Party at 17, while the total cast is 237, 0 reject. We are going to be going to South Central Wynwood now, South Central Wynwood A. This is the Chris Bernard Preschool at Mount Brennan, and this is A to J, looking 415 registered. The Unity Labour Party standing at 136. That's 136 votes, while the New Democratic Party 121. Cast would be 205 205.8, that's 258, and reject 1. Reject 1. We also have West Kingstown A, Victoria Park. We would see A to Z 58, the Unity Labour Party at 11, the New Democratic Party NDP at 21. The cast would be 32, 0 rejects in this area. Looking at B, Public Health Building, which is in Rose Place, A to Z 384. This is the Unity Labour Party at 87, while the New Democratic Party at 148. We see cast ballots here 236, 236, 1 reject. 236, 1 reject. We also have H1 in this area of West Kingstown. H1, D to J, 497, 497 registered. And we're looking at the Unity Labour Party at 116, that's 116 for the Unity Labour Party, while the NDP, the New Democratic Party, 169. The New Democratic Party, 169. The total cast in this area would be 286, 1 reject. 286, 1 reject. That is polling station H1. H1. We would be going to West Kingstown F. We're looking at the Windsor Primary School, in New Montrose, and we are seeing A to I, that's A to I, 339, that's 339 registered, and we're looking at the Unity Labour Party at 76, that's 76, the Unity Labour Party, while the New Democratic Party we're seeing at 119 votes, it's 119 votes, cast in total will be 196, that's 196, reject 1 in this area. We are going straight into East St. George D, which is at the Sugar Mill in Academy, that is at Rather Mill, and we are looking at A to J, we are looking at 489 persons. These results are not in as yet. However, just below this, we would see this is C3, and we see H2 in the primary school, the Fair Hall Primary School. This is N to Z. We have seen 500 persons registered to vote here, and the Unity Labour Party at 122, 122, while the New Democratic Party 198. New Democratic Party 198. Total cast ballots 320. No reject for this area. H Primary School again in Fair Hall. A to F. 507 persons registered to vote. 507 persons registered to vote. The Unity Labour Party, they are looking at 107, while the New Democratic Party look at 203. That's the New Democratic Party, 203. The cast ballots here, 310. That's 310. No rejects in this area. We are going to go up in East St. George at C1, looking at the Huffles Ranch in Brighton, and we will see here A to C. That's A to C for surnames, and we are seeing 422, 422, and Unity Labour Party 108, Unity Labour Party 108, while the New Democratic Party 139 cast in this area. Cast ballots here is 247. That's 247, no rejects whatsoever in this area. We also have in North Windward F at the government school in Langley Park, we see 542 persons registered to vote, and we are noting 174 for the Unity Labour Party. That would be Grace Walters, while 194 the New Democratic Party, Chevron John. That's the New Democratic Party, Chevron John, 194. Cast ballots here would be 367. That's 367. No rejects in this area. We are looking into Mariaqua, and in Mariaqua we will be looking at the polling station I. Polling station I, we'll be looking at polling station I, and we would see the government school in Evesham. There's 403 persons registered to vote, surnames A to J, and we're seeing the Unity Labour Party at 89. There's a Unity Labour Party at 89, while the New Democratic Party led running by Philip Jackson, and this is 155. That's 155. We also have cast ballots here, 244. No rejects. I1, which is in the same vicinity, I1, and it says K to Z, that's K to Z, 291, 291. The Unity Labour Party, 66. Unity Labour Party, 66. The New Democratic Party, 102. The New Democratic Party, 102. In total, cast ballots will be 169. 169, and we are looking at one reject. Further up, we look at the Gospel Hall in Kerr, and we'll see G1, that's polling station G1, K to Z, 463. 463. The Unity Labour Party, 127. Unity Labour Party, 127 by St. Clair Jimmy Prince, and the New Democratic Party, 164. 164. Philip Jackson, New Democratic Party. Cast would be 292 cast ballots here, 292 with one reject. One reject. Looking at the graph, we will see 1,177 for the New Democratic Party, while the Unity Labour Party is at 906. That's 906, 7 rejects. We also have South Windward. We're looking into South Windward, of course, the two Johns that are running for the first time, and we're looking at D, the government school in Proven Vale. That's D, the Proven Vale, A to J, 374. 374, the Unity Labour Party, 142. Unity Labour Party, 142, while the New Democratic Party, 96. New Democratic Party, 96. Total cast ballots here, 239. 239, and reject 1. Reject 1. We also have coming in Central Leeward. We have Central Leeward E1, that's E1. E and E, E1. E and that's E. At A to H, persons registered here is 422. 422, the Unity Labour Party, 142, 142, and the New Democratic Party, 124, 124, total cast ballots here, 266, that's 266, while at E1, at the same government school in Layu, we have I to P, that's I to P, 457, 457. We're looking at 159, 159. The Unity Labour Party, while the New Democratic Party, 141, 300 cast, 300 cast. We're going to go up to D1 in Barrowlee, and we will see here surnames H to Z, 529 to vote. However, we have not gotten those results, but in D, at Barrowlee D, we see A to G, we have 461. That's 461. The Unity Labour Party at 162, 162, while the New Democratic Party at 150. Cast ballots here, 313, 313, reject 1, reject 1. We're going to head back to East St. George, and that is C3 at Huffles Ranch. C3 at Huffles Ranch, we would see R to Z. We have 404 persons registered to vote. However, we are seeing the split between the Unity Labour Party 89, Unity Labour Party 89, and the New Democratic Party 128. Total cast ballots here 217, 217, 0 rejects. We are going to go over to Western Georgia. We're continuing where we have Kashaka Cupid, the NDP, Curtis King, the ULP, as well as IND for Kenna Kittels, and we have D1, the government primary school in Bel Air. We have D2J. D2J, we have 471 registered to vote, 89 for the Unity Labour Party, 89 for the Unity Labour Party. The New Democratic Party, we are seeing 198. That's 198 New Democratic Party. IND 5, 295 cast ballots, 3 rejects. We're also looking at B1 in the Gomez Methodist School in Daphne. K to Z. That's K to Z. We're seeing 336 registered, and the Unity Labour Party we see at 56. New Democratic Party 139. The New Democratic Party 139. We also have IND 1. Total cast ballots here 196. We have D1 again. We would see the primary school D1. That would be D2J 471, 89 for the Unity Labour Party, while the New Democratic Party 198, and IND at 5 cast ballots 295, while we have 3 rejects here. Sorry, we also have the Public Works in E. If we look closely, we'll see in Arnesville the Public Works A to E 472 registered to vote. We have 119 for the Unity Labour Party, 154 for the New Democratic Party, 2 for IND. Cast ballots is 275. That's 275, 0 rejects. We're going around to H, and H is at the Braxa building in Arnesville. At A to F, surnames A to F, we see registered 482. The Unity Labour Party 109. The New Democratic Party 165. New Democratic Party. IND 2. Cast ballots is 276, 0 rejects. We also going to go back over to B at the Gomez and Daphne. This is the Daphne Gomez Methodist School. A to J, 523 persons registered to vote here. The Unity Labour Party at 88, Unity Labour Party at 88. The New Democratic Party 242. The IND Party, IND 2. Cast ballots 334, rejects 2. Excuse me. We're looking at H again. Here we would see H is the Braxa building. We would have been going through these at A to F, 482 registered to vote, 482, and we see here 109 for the Unity Labour Party, while we are looking at 165 for the New Democratic Party. IND 2 cast ballots is 276. We still have outstanding H2 for this area, so we'll be waiting. we're going to go through central Kingstown to see what is happening in this area, looking at the populated information on the screen, and we have been looking at the graph. We've noted that all of the areas have been populated in central Kingstown. All areas have been populated in central Kingstown. All areas have been populated in central Kingstown. So we are looking at 2,842 for the New Democratic Party, while 1,559 for the Unity Labour Party, 19 rejects. So we can clearly declare Central Kingstown New Democratic. The incumbent Sinclair Leacock.
Just for academic purposes, how much did the ULP candidate get last election?
I can give you the swing and stuff.
Please.
Now, if you want. Yeah, I don't know how much you got, but the swing is 7%.
7%.
The 7% swing, which is quite good. It's higher than the other one. If I look back at 2020, he got 2673, and he had 57%. He's now up to 60%. So it's a very good performance on his part.
Did well.
It's a good performance, and my thing is it's also an ominous signal because a 7% swing nationally is basically everything but the Prime Minister. But I'm hearing suggestions that there have been other seats that have been secured. So, but it would be a good performance on his part, definitely a 7% swing. So he's up to 64%. In the region, mid-60s is usually a relatively safe seat, which would mean that he wouldn't have to lose too much sleep, probably for at least another election.
Yeah.
Or two, yeah.
Almost 3,000 votes.
Interesting, because the NDP controls the whole Kingston corridor.
Whole Kingston corridor.
And if I may
Whole
just say,
Kingston
I don't get the impression that the ULP has tried, has seriously tried to wrest the Kingston seats from the NDP. Not since your time, Renee.
And Sinclair Leacock has increased the number of votes.
Yes, he has.
And I think the ULP has reduced the number of votes from 1965
1965 in 2020.
59 years. And Sinclair went from 2,642 to
Over 200 votes.
840, so almost 200 votes.
So he's a very aggressive, formidable
He's a
candidate.
very aggressive person.
Once
Yeah,
there's a
it is-
direction, when there's a movement to NDP, it will always benefit him.
Yeah, oh yeah.
He's very progressive.
And he doesn't give up being where he is at all.
Yeah.
No.
Relentless, I mean.
He's never. Since he ran in 2005 and lost, and 2010, 2015, 2020, each time, and he is never absent.
But he's grumbly with his constituents.
Oh yes.
But they say he's never absent.
And I've always said, never mind you hear all this mouth, he has a heart. Just today I told someone that he speaks about a number of things. He sounds like a bull in a china shop, but he has a heart. And that's if you know him closely enough.
Oh yeah.
And see that close emotionally attached to his constituents. So I'm not surprised that he's increased the number of votes at all. This is what I expected from him.
I think his people relate to him.
Yes,
Yes.
they
They
do.
relate to him. They feel
That is the
him.
temperature
They feel him.
in that constituency.
So the persons who may criticize him outside for saying the odd wild thing, for being all aggressive, but his people in his constituency understand where he's coming from.
There's a funeral, he's there.
Always.
There's an activity, he's there. You always see him when he's needed. That's what he has over many of the politicians that we have here. He's always there to give succor and comfort, not only to his own constituents, but he goes across the board to other members of the party, candidates, and support them. He's always a very supportive person that way. I'm not surprised at all that he's actually increased the number of votes in Manny's.
No, like I said, he's always there. He's never absent.
He's a candidate's candidate.
Yes, yes.
And that has worked well for him.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
It's difficult to beat Sinclair Leacock at any time, whether there's a swing towards ULP or not, he is very, very grounded in that constituency. You know, he has had his challenges. Even the party itself doesn't make a difference. He's always someone who's close to his people. And he's always someone who's close to his fellow candidates. And that's what he's very good at. You know, if he has to reach a North Leeward to attend a function or a funeral in support of his candidate, he will be there.
He'll be there.
You know, that is the Sinclair Leacock that I know.
And that comes from the discipline from grammar school cadets.
Cadets.
It's a discipline.
Yes, yes.
You have a task, you apply yourself to it. You have to be present, you're present. You're there.
You know,
And people see that,
yeah,
and
even if
they
he's
gravitate
dressed,
towards him.
Yes, even
because of that.
if he isn't dressed and there's a funeral that's not in his constituency, he's there. He comes in with a shirt, if it's even for 20, 30 minutes, but he is there. And it's amazing.
Let's talk about the whole question of leadership and continuation. How old is Sinclair Leacock right now?
He's in his 70s, I think.
In the early 70s,
Yes,
but
70s.
72 around this, 72, 73.
Who?
Sinclair.
About
74.
74.
Right.
Okay. So how many more elections do you think he would want to face?
Well, he'll face another one. Comrade faced one when he was 79.
Yeah.
So as I suppose that. So, and
So I was kind of surprised how the conversation came up because
I think
I don't think their age is we don't think that we can talk age.
Age is not an issue.
he's very fit and very agile and
Yes.
a very good debater. So I suppose that now that he's had a chance to get into office, he was always concerned about getting into government. Always.
Yes.
I don't think that he is going to remove himself.
In one
Not
term.
now, no.
No.
Certainly not. He's going to run again, and I can see him running 2 terms. I can see him running next
This
election
next
and
election
the
and the one
following.
after that.
If God gives him good health
He
and
has the
strength.
ground on which to do it.
But he's been looking forward to getting into office so long that on one of his,
Well,
on one of his,
to-
hold on, one of his speeches, he actually said that he wants to be sworn in the very next day.
Yes.
Well, you are in fact sworn in the next day, I think.
No. It's on the
No,
general and the
the-
PM.
the Prime
PM and
Minister
the
is-
Attorney
The
General.
Prime Minister is sworn in.
And the
Yeah.
Attorney General.
And the Attorney General, yeah.
But he
Prime
said he
Minister,
wanted to be
Attorney
sworn in the
General.
very next day. He has some things he wants to do.
No, he's very bold about what he wants. He wants for himself and the party. And
Bold and
extremely supportive. You see, he has national support, you know, because
Yes.
he's always there. He's always there, and no matter what challenges come his way, he's always been able to overcome them.
The thing you talk about his national support. I mean, I went to my cousin's funeral, Alan Cruikshank, right? And I saw, of course, it's a big NDP funeral, you know, and Dr. Friday went to speak, and people applauded. But when they announced the major, it was something else.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's a very good debater as well. He's an excellent debater.
Well, he prepares.
Yes,
He prepares.
excellent debater, yes.
So,
He has some views about the private sector that may not be applicable in an environment like this. But then again, he's not an intransigent person. You can convince him if you have an idea or view that opposes him and seems to be workable. I've always found him, even as chairman of the party,
Amenable to
be
change.
amenable to change. And he is admirable. I admire him a lot. Some people may have different views about him, but he's very special. In the party, he's a very special person.
But as we
Does he help to keep things together?
Yes, and he's very firm. He has this military approach. I think it has helped him, but it's also not helped him. It is not many people given the opportunity to see his heart. They hear his voice and they see his sternness, but they don't seem to get close enough to know that he cares.
So-
He cares a hell of a lot.
when do you think he was passed over for the leadership of the party?
I think
other people were more entrenched to see.
no, not that.
No, I wanna hear the
It is not that. I think what happened is that he supported Army Eustace blindly, like a soldier supporting his superior. And not recognizing that he too may have been looked at very seriously as a leader. And I don't think he got similar support from Eustace, but he was just a blind supporter, and that made things worse for him.
But he's got the capacity, and I think also being so long there, he understands a bit more about government
Oh yes.
and governance than a lot of other persons.
Oh yes.
They don't understand governance. He understands.
But it is interesting that we're spending this long time speaking about Cynthia Leacock and not about the, could I say presumptive? Can I go ahead and,
Yes.
how many seats have been declared?
Prime Minister, the presumptive Prime Minister.
Yeah, the presumptive Prime Minister. It's interesting that we're spending this time talking about the personality and character of Cynthia Leacock. And we haven't spent that much time on the...
I think it's because, firstly, the question about longevity, the number of times he's likely to run, again, after he's won his seat now, that may have propelled us into discussing the issues about him.
Yeah.
But not that we had passed over discussing all the issues, but I think because he's a leader, we're waiting on things come in and we'll have a discussion about Laurie, which are two different characters altogether. Two different individuals altogether. They're miles apart. They have different approaches.
Okay, let's so sorry, looking at leadership, can I posit that Dr. Friday comes over very much like the anti-Ralph, very different kind of leader,
He's different.
very, very different kind of leader.
They've had a different history.
He's different.
They've had a different history, and he came in when the NDP was going down. Yeah?
Yeah.
Remember that cusp of 98
Yes.
to 2001?
Yes, yes.
And he came in and won his seat. And so he was looking at somebody else as leader, and he had to emerge as the leader after Eustace left.
And when you have a sure seat, about half the hurdle is over.
Yes.
Yeah.
But he had to wait. Remember, Eustace was Mr. Eustace was the prime minister.
Yeah.
So he was leader of the opposition, and then he had to wait for him to be out of the way to emerge as leader. Remember, it was after that he emerged as leader.
But as we're talking here, I'm hearing a lot of music outside.
Celebrations. That's what happens.
Do we have a camera on the outside?
What's Stilly Fraser used to say? Come to a potted club and mourn with the mourners, mourn and cry with the mourners, and celebrate with the winners.
What kind of leader do you think Dr. Friday would emerge as?
He is the type of individual who listens and is prepared to compromise if necessary. He is not one who is a person who's bombastic or one who will sort of get at an individual for something that person will have done, but more someone who is likely to be congenial and collective in the manner in which he approaches things. He is relatively quiet. He's speaking far more now than he used to when I was there as chairman. Understanding because he's a leader. It is the others, whether or not they are prepared to accept that type of leadership. I remember saying that he may have challenges actually controlling some of his persons, and some people said he was weak. Not that he was weak, but no matter how strong you are, you're going to have challenges dealing with people. And sometimes they're not people who are close to like the candidates, but people on the fringe of the party. Don't forget, this has been a party that's been in opposition for 24 years. People have expectations, and he has to deal with those.
Managing the expectations.
It's not easy to do that, especially if you come in as a very strong, won a number of seats, and a very strong party politically, and there are people who've been there working on behalf of the party. I remember very well when we couldn't get a quorum to have a central committee meeting, and I remember the previous leader saying, success has many fathers, failure is an offer.
I heard that especially in 2009 when the referendum failed.
Yes, and he was quietly, not saying much, coming to the meetings, but he was always there. And I believe that the respect that he is able to garner from those around him will help him to be able to pull things together. You know, it's not going to be easy.
I'm quite sure he has a good team to help him in this succession to office. A good team to help him, because he knows, should we win, what people will be expecting from him.
Well, people...
And there are a lot of expectations. Because
Well, there were a lot of promises. Big promises.
were made, so
Well, they're big promises, and I can speak from my limited experience. They are big promises, but there's something called reality when you sit in that chair as Prime Minister.
Yes.
They are going to be realities that stun you.
The honeymoon is not going to be very
And
long.
how you're going to manage those realities. One, your political colleagues, your party colleagues, what will be their expectations? And then you have, outside of St. Vincent, those expectations as well. They don't just disappear because Ralph Gonsalves has gone from the scene. There are going to be certain expectations.
But talking about Ralph Gonsalves, I mean, he's been an amazing...
Well, he's been an
Been it for a
amazing
long
politician. From the he hit on the scene. People knew him in the university days. Those of our generation. But he hit in 1979 when the UPN, as the new boys on the block, youthful and upful is the word, and they got wiped out in their first outing. It was similar to this. It was 10-1 was murder. Remember, the Labour Party won. And it was 10-1. And they all left and went and studied and so on and came back for 1984. And in 1984, as I told people, I was there in 1984 and I saw repeat performance. When you had the Young Turks, you remember Scott? And
Jerry Scott.
Stanley John, Stanley Starkey John, myself and others. We were the Young Turks talking about things that are going to happen. And this is the life of politics. People are not, especially people in leadership, they're not given to want to, oh, you young people, what you? Ben Hill, good on you.
But I was having a conversation with a few persons who are directly involved in Europe, and I said, this reminds me of 2001 when I was entering politics. Just a mood when everyone seemed to have moved away from the party.
Yes.
Civil servants were moving.
Everyone.
Police were moving. And I was there, been literally perhaps forced to have got myself involved at the time. But I saw, I had the same feeling, and I said, I don't like the feeling that I have. The feeling is not one which is positive to the European.
It was an uneasy calm.
Yes,
But
very.
I want to bring something to the table that we haven't mentioned here for the evening. Something we have not mentioned for the evening.
Yes.
The factor COVID mandates.
Well,
I don't
again,
think that is. I don't think that. To be quite frank with you,
played.
there have been more positive things happening in St. Vincent that will have a positive impact and overwhelm the COVID issue.
But do you not think, hold on, but Scott, do you not think that a lot of persons were angered by the persons who were sent home, and they were not in numbers that would come on the street because people not doing that anymore? I know Peter had some opinion on that.
we talked about this before, and I said that I don't think it makes one iota of difference.
You don't think it
Let me
makes
tell you why it didn't make any difference.
You know why?
I don't think so.
You know
I
why I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
it makes a
No, it
difference?
didn't make any
Look,
difference.
people in St. Vincent who did not want to take the vaccine because they had a health issue were excused. People who didn't take it because they had a religious issue were excused.
Yeah.
The ones that were given trouble were people who did not take it because they just didn't want to.
Yeah.
The vast majority of those people were NDP supporters. So my thing is, you struggle to find a Labour Party supporter that was defiantly saying, I'm not taking the vaccine. So those people who would have suffered are ultimately people who would not have voted for the ULP anymore.
In any event.
So I never really got that it made a difference.
For the first time I understand where you came from.
No, it didn't.
No, because I actually researched the issue, because one of the agencies did, and I mean what we found was that people who were defiantly, opposed to taking it were defiantly that way because they had a political agenda in vast majority of instances. What I'm saying is not to say that they're not entitled to that, but the reality is that if they have that agenda, they're not going to support the government regardless. So you're not losing anything by going after them.
But let's jump in something. Do we see the Prime Minister, the former Prime Minister, can I say that at this point? Have we declared yet?
But that's the other question I wanted to ask. Is there likely
finals.
to be a concession speech tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I would think so.
Because Camilo Gonzalez had a concession speech online.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Oh yeah, which on Facebook, which is gathering some pretty positive comments from persons who are not necessarily his greatest supporters. That's very interesting. But do we see a Dr. Gonzalez in opposition holding on for another 5 years?
I don't think so.
See, this is the problem. I mean, if he won, he was talking about going, but then you don't know. If he doesn't win, how do you manage an exit in a situation where it doesn't look as though it's sour grapes and you don't want to sit in opposition? The other question is who's going to be there with him? Because the point at which he goes, he has to hand over leadership to someone, and the question is who's there with him. So I'm anxious to know whether if he goes into Parliament with someone else, because I think at this stage it's still up in the air as to whether he will or not. Will he let that other person lead the opposition, or will he lead the opposition and then go to a leadership contest and whatnot? I have my own ideas on what should happen, but ultimately he will determine. No, because I think at this stage, I think it's pretty clear. You win with a group, or you stand alone in loss. He has to take this one on his chest, and my thing would be to make a concession by not essentially walking away from the party before. You can't walk away from the seat because you've been elected, but walk away from the party in the sense of saying to the party, look, I'm giving you the opportunity to determine your future without me.
I think he is the kind of person who would walk away from the party at this stage.
Not walk away from the party.
I didn't say walk away, I'm just saying not walk away, but I'm saying you give the party the opportunity to identify a new leader, and when you do it, that's when I say walk away, that's what I mean.
Like he does now have an opportunity, but did Samoto Caesar win his seat?
I was waiting to hear him.
We are not aware of that, the results that...
We're waiting the results. And
Central Leeward, what's happening in Central Leeward? We got some results here.
No, that's where we left off.
What's happening in Central Leeward?
Yeah,
we're just updating. The information will be coming in shortly, so we're just updating. We're just awaiting for the results.
We should await and not speculate.
Yes.
Await, not speculate.
All right, so we can go ahead and look at the results here at Central Leeward H. We can look at Central Leeward H now. That's at the secondary school in Bookament Bay. That's A to Z, and we see registered here 577. That's 577. The Unity Labour Party, we have 180. That's 180. That's 180, and the New Democratic Party 174. That's the New Democratic Party 174. Conroy Huggins representing the New Democratic Party cast 358. That's 358. Rejects we have 4. Rejects we have 4.
Is that correct? What you said? The total votes is 373.
The cast. So the cast. Is 3. The cast here at H, polling station H, secondary school at Bookament. We have 358. 358, and reject we have 4. New Democratic Party, we are noting 174. 174. The Unity Labour Party, we have 180. Total persons registered here, we are seeing 577. 577. We go to C. That is at the Society Hall in Barley. We see it. We're looking at A to Z. A to Z, last name's A to Z. 432. That's 432 registered. Unity Labour Party 120. The New Democratic Party 161, and in total cast we are seeing 286. That's 286 rejects. We are seeing 5 at this time. 5. If we look at, we're looking at the police station B. That's at the police station. That's at the Dome at Barley. We would see the surnames A to G. We're seeing registered here 335. That's 335. Unity Labour Party 115. Unity Labour Party 115. And the New Democratic Party 108. Cast, we're noting 223. No, there are no rejects here. We're looking at the graph here at Central Leeward, and we are seeing 2,240. That's 2,240 for the NDP, the New Democratic Party, while the Unity Labour Party 2,221 rejects.
So are
20.
we still awaiting results in this constituency?
Currently, we still have one,
church.
which is at I, which is at the Pentecostal Church in Curtains. We still have this outstanding.
Wow.
We're looking at D1. We're looking at D1 here at the government school at Barley. We see H to Z, 529, and the Unity Labour Party at 181, and the New Democratic Party 166. Cast ballots here is 347, 0 rejects. So the graph will show you. Again. We have 20 that are rejects. We have 2,240 for the the New Democratic Party, and the Unity Labour Party 2,221.
There's one more station to come.
19.
We just have one outstanding. We just have one outstanding.
And his lead is 19, I think.
Yeah.
19. So that's a very close one,
As good.
as you expected.
And it's good.
Curtain.
Let's look at South Windward. We're going to be looking at South Windward. B2, the Methodist School at Bayaboo. B2, the Methodist School at Bayaboo. M to Z, surnames M to Z. Here we have 391 registered to vote. 391. We see the Unity Labour Party 154. Unity Labour Party 154, while the NDP we're seeing at 76. And the cast ballots is 232, while we have 2 rejects. 2 rejects here. Further down, if we look further down, we will see E1, the New Testament Church in Calder. The New Testament Church in Calder, I was actually here today, and surprisingly there's a lot of persons who came out to vote here, and we see J to Z, 536 persons registered to vote. And the Unity Labour Party looking at 116. That's 116, while the New Democratic Party looking at 196. 196. Total cast ballots is 312.
That was a strong hold.
312, and there are no rejects in this area. Further up, which is in the same area, we would see A to I, and this is 473 registered A to I, 108, that's 108 for the Unity Labour Party, while 172 for the New Democratic Party. Cast ballots here, we see 281, and reject ballots in this area. We are looking at 1. We're looking at 1. The graph will show you here we have 2015 for the New Democratic Party, that is Andrew John, and 1674 for the Unity Labour Party. We see 17 rejects in this.
Anything outstanding?
Let's go. Sorry, let's go to C for. Let's go to C, looking at the new Prospect Primary School in Simon. A to Z. A to Z, 380 persons registered to vote in this area. We have the Unity Labour Party at 89, ULP 89, and the New Democratic Party NDP 144. 144, total cast 233, no rejects. 233, no rejects. Looking further down, let's go around to I2. We're going around to I2, the government school in Stubbs. That's the government school in Stubbs. We have O to Z, that's O to Z, 407 registered to vote, 407. Unity Labour Party, 104, 104, while the New Democratic Party, 136, 136. Cast ballots here, 241, 241, rejects 1, reject 1, reject 1. We're still outstanding G, the community center at Upper Snubs. So while these are results for I2, and further on we would have seen E. We're waiting for the results of G in the community center. Let's go over to North Leeward and see what North Leeward A. We'll be looking at North Leeward, the Learning Resource Center at the Golden Grove. North Leeward, Golden Grove. We see A to Z, 352. That's 352 registered to vote. We're seeing the Unity Labour Party at 87, while the New Democratic Party at 175. 175 cast ballot. We would note here 263, 1 reject. 263, 1 reject. Further down, we're looking at D, the Methodist School in Chatteville, A to J. A to J, 361. That's 361. And we would see the Unity Labour Party 9090, while the New Democratic Party 158. 158. We also have cast ballots, 249, 249, 1 reject in this area. Further down, we'll be looking at the community center in Rosebank. Looking at the Rosebank Community Center, A to Z, 567. 567. The Unity Labour Party looking at 258, that's 258 for the Unity Labour Party, while the New Democratic Party 150, 150 votes. Cast ballots is 408, 408. Rejects, none. Let's go around to see where J1 is concerned. J1, JZ, we have 514. Unity Labour Party 116. New Democratic Party 235. Total cast ballots 353, 2 rejects. We are looking further up at Fitzhughes at the government school. Looking at the government school here, we see K to Z 453, 89 for the Unity Labour Party, 89 Unity Labour Party, and the New Democratic Party 227, New Democratic Party. Cast ballots is 320, looking at 4 rejects. We're going to be looking at the cast graph, and it's 2,526, while the Unity Labour Party, we're looking at 1,966. 1,966, rejects 20.
I'm wondering if that is
We
not
can-
the highest total
we-
for
we can
candidates.
clearly
in North Leeward?
We're
can call
looking,
it?
we're looking at North Leeward again. Let's review North Leeward here. It's the secondary school in P.T. Bedell, the E polling station. We are seeing A to J 437, Unity Labour Party 127, 127, while the New Democratic Party stands at 194, 322, and 1 reject. Cast 322, 1 reject. These results are all in. We have seen that the results are all in. All the results are in. All the results are in.
I guess we can safely
So
call it.
we can safely declare North Leeward. We're looking at the graph. We're looking at the graph here. Clearly
2526.
declared. Let's go over to South Central Windward. Yes.
Okay, so North Leeward, we can declare North Leeward for Dr. Kishore Shallow of the New Democratic Party. And can we just have a look at the totals again?
What we're looking at is the New Democratic. We're looking at the New Democratic Party as well as the Unity Labour Party. On the graph here, the seat graph shows 5 for the New Democratic Party. At current, 5 for the New Democratic Party. This is the Southern Grenadines. We're looking at the Northern Grenadines. We're also looking at North Leeward, and we're looking here at Central Kingstown.
What about East Kingston?
We'll be looking at East Kingstown in a bit while we update the chat. So when the scores come in, we'll be able to see what is happening there.
Wow. 2526. Massive one.
Right to 90.
South Central Windward. We can look at South Central Windward now. The results of South Central Windward. Let's look at A1. Let's look at A1 at the Chris Bernard preschool. This is at Mount Brennan, and we see K2Z. We're looking at registered to vote 306. That's 306. Unity Labour Party 161, while the New Democratic Party, we're looking at 45. Cast ballots here 206, 206. No rejects at this time. And further down, we're looking at D, the primary school at Newgrounds. A to J, we're seeing 444. That's 444. And the Unity Labour Party, we're looking at 1-1. That's Unity Labour Party, 1-1, while the New Democratic Party, 154. Cast ballots here, 278. 3 rejects in this area. We are moving on into the breadbasket of Mariaqua, where we see Philip Jackson representing the New Democratic Party and Sinclair Jimmy Prince representing the Unity Labour Party. We're looking at polling station B in Richton Park at the government school. We're seeing A to J, registered votes here. It's 459. 459. Unity Labour Party, 160. The New Democratic Party, 153. Cast ballots, 314. 314, while 1 reject. 314, 1 reject. We want to go looking at B1. B1 in the same government school area, Richmond Park. We're seeing here K2Z 430, 130 for the Unity Labour Party, while the New Democratic Party we see at 127, and the cast ballots is at 259. That's 259, 2 rejects in this area. Further down, let's look at polling station E at the Bunpan building, which is in Freeland. And we are seeing here 588 registered and cast ballots. We are looking at 369. We note that the Unity Labour Party 179, while the New Democratic Party 190. No rejects. Further up, if we can look further up at C, here's C1 at the Early Childhood Development Center at Richton Park. We would see I2O, that's I2O. We see 309 registered here. The Unity Labour Party, we're seeing 97, while the New Democratic Party, we're looking at 98. Cast ballots here is 196. We see one reject, and below C2, the same area, P to Z, we are seeing 394 registered. We are noting 237 cast, 132 for the New Democratic Party, while the Unity Labour Party, we are seeing 105. Zero rejects here. We are going to be moving right into West Kingstown to see what is happening there, looking at polling station H, which is the Anglican school in Lomans. So we're looking at, we'll be looking at G1, so we'll be looking at G1 and H. All of them are here at the Lomans Hill. And we're seeing A to J, 447 registered to vote, and we are noting 249 cast ballots, zero rejects. We are seeing 162 for the New Democratic Party, 87 for the Unity Labour Party. Further down, G1, the same Anglican school here, we're seeing K to Z, 390 registered. 63 for the Unity Labour Party, 134 for the New Democratic Party, represented by Daniel Cummins, 198 cast ballot, one reject. Anglican H, the Anglican school, Lomans, we're still in Lomans Hill, looking at A to C, that's A to C, 390 registered. We're looking at 88 for the Unity Labour Party, while 144 for the New Democratic Party. That's 144 New Democratic Party. 232 cast, zero rejects. We're going to go further around and see if there are any new updates behind. We would have gone through all of these already, and we've noted it is all filled, and we're going to be looking at the graph. 2,691 for Daniel Cummins, the New Democratic Party, while the Unity Labour Party, we're looking at 1,450, 28 rejects. This is West Kingstown, so we can declare from the Public Information Network that West Kingstown, NDP. We can go back to South Central Wynwood, and we can look here, Sabota Caesar, the Unity Labour Party, Israel Bruce, New Democratic Party. We're looking at polling station A, the Christopher Bernard Preschool, Mount Grennan, and we would see A to J. We're looking at registered voters, 415, that's 415. The Unity Labour Party, 136. New Democratic Party, 121. Cast ballots would be 258, 258. Reject 1. We're still outstanding B. We're still outstanding B, but we're going to be looking at B1, which is the government school in Diamond. B1, K to Z. We would note 433 persons registered to vote. 223 Unity Labour Party, 74 New Democratic Party, 297 297 cast ballots, 0 rejects. We're going to go further around to H, where in Greg's, we're looking in Greg's, we see H primary school, the primary school in Greg's, yes. We see A to G, and we have noted 504 registered to vote. Unity Labour Party, 91. Unity Labour Party, 91, represented by Sabota Caesar. New Democratic
That is
Party,
usual.
New
That's
Democratic
Greg's.
Party,
Never change for
240. This is
Oh,
Israel
exactly.
Bruce, and we're also seeing cast ballot, 333. That's 331. Sorry, 331, 0 reject. 331, 0 reject. Further down in the primary school, H1, we are seeing 493. Last name H to M. Unity Labour Party 55. Unity Labour Party 55. New Democratic Party 304. Total cast ballots is 360. That's 360. 1 reject. H2, Greg's again in the same area of the primary school. N to Z, we are seeing 400 registered. 81 for the Unity Labour Party, while the New Democratic Party, we are seeing 209. 209. In total, the cast ballot is 291, and we're seeing 1 reject in that area. We'll be looking at the graph here. We'll see for the New Democratic Party, 2,047, while the Unity Labour Party 1676. That's 1,676. Reject total 8. We are still outstanding B. We're still outstanding B in the government school in Diamonds, which is A to J, and we're also outstanding F1, which is the Bethel Gospel Hall Assembly at North Union. We're still outstanding those. We'll be going to North Windward. At D2. D2, which is at the Sandy Bay Government School. D, we can look at all the D's here. We will see D, A to C, we have 493 registered to vote, and we are noting that the Unity Labour Party, we are seeing 246. That's 246, while the New Democratic Party, 131. That's 131 cast ballots here. 378, 1 reject. Further down, D1, in the same area, we have D to L, 417 persons registered to vote. We're seeing 215 for the Unity Labour Party, while 118 for the New Democratic Party. Cast ballots 335. That's 335, and rejects we're seeing 2. D2, the government school again in Sandy Bay. M to Z, 490. That's 490. That's 490. 210 for the Unity Labour Party. 166 for the New Democratic Party. 378 cast ballots. 2 reject. That's 2 reject in this area. We are still going through North Windward. We see that all the areas are filled. We see I, which at the CWSA Waterworks in Mount Bentic. A to Z, we are seeing 532. This shows at the Unity Labour Party at 183 for the Unity Labour Party, while 164 for the New Democratic Party. 164 New Democratic Party. Cast ballots 347, 0 rejects. So we are looking at North Windward. There are none outstanding here. All have been filled, and we will be looking at the graph. Looking at the graph, we see 2,780. That's 2,780 for North Windward, Chevron John, the New Democratic Party, and 2,544 Grace Walters, the Unity Labour Party. That's 21, 21, 21, 21, 21 rejects in that area. So this can be declared won by the New Democratic Party from the perspective of the Public Information Network data that we would have received.
I did say before there's going to be a ding-dong battle there, and it's being reflected.
Well, she's the first woman to get elected since I was last elected.
Yes. And it's being, Brenda, what you say there?
Since I was last elected in 2001 and 2005, remember Gerlin was also elected from 98. No other woman has been elected.
Until now?
Since 2000, yes. And I mean, Gerlin was re-elected in 2005, and she left in 15.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the NDP.
Because she ran again in 2010.
The NDP's work, because they put a lot of emphasis on this, on this
a lot of
constituency.
resources in there.
And they were holding out all hope for this, and it paid off. 2,780 to 2,544. Congratulations to Chevron John. And a well-fought campaign.
Yes,
Yeah, I'm really keen on Sabota Caesar hearing the remainder of his results, and then also Central Leeward.
And again,
Sabota Caesar, right, his seat, and then Central Leeward. Those are the two that are interesting for me. Central Leeward because it's the second strongest seat, and that one seems to be under serious pressure as well. Yeah. And well, Saboto, because I'm hearing rumors that he is one, but the data is suggesting something very, very different. So
that he is.
No, I said I'm hearing rumors that he may have won, but the data is suggesting something very different. Certainly that we're getting. So I'm anxious to hear what's happening.
And my interest in that from the point of view that I personally have seen, and I mentioned it here tonight, I've seen both of them as future leaders for the ULP.
Okay.
It's probably not what was being pushed by the maximum leader before, where it was clearly being spoken on the ground that those are persons you could look at as being future leaders of the party. And if you're going to be a leader, you got to have your seat first.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Yeah.
And have it convincingly too.
Yeah.
I win it by one vote, I want to be a leader.
Okay, so results are still coming in?
Yes, results are coming in. We can look at North Central Windward. North Central Windward, we are looking at the Unity Labour Party by Ralph Gonsalves, as well as Chieftain Neptune, the New Democratic Party, North Central Windward. We are seeing at the School with Children Special Needs in Georgetown, which is C. We are noting A to Z. We see 400 registered to vote here. Unity Labour Party, 135. New Democratic Party, we are seeing 104. In total, cast ballots are 239, 0 rejects. That's 0 rejects. In D, we're looking at D and D1. This is at the community center in Chester Cottage. We would see here A to J, 421, 421. The Unity Labour Party, out of the registered votes, 4-1, we see 188. That's 188. The New Democratic Party, 79. Cast ballots, 272. Rejects 5. D1 in the same area of Chester Cottage. This is K to Z. We're seeing 433 for the Unity Labour Party. We are seeing 186, while for the New Democratic Party we're looking at 100. Cast ballots here is 289, and rejects we see 3. Rejects we're noting 3. The Pamela's Burke Government School in Byra, we are going to be looking at all of them, which we're going to be looking at E1, E2. We will see here A to F, 366 registered to vote, 163 for the Unity Labour Party, 65 for the New Democratic Party, We're looking at 230 230 total cast ballots, and we're seeing two rejects. E1, we're looking at G to M, 331, Unity Labour Party, 128, while the NDP, the New Democratic Party, 7070, 198 total cast ballots, 198, 0 rejects. Looking at E2, Pamela's Burke again, E2, N to Z, 405. We're seeing the Unity Labour Party at 162, while the New Democratic Party, we're looking at 103. Total cast the ballots would be 265. Rejects 0. All of the Methodist school in South Rivers, we would have gone through before, F1 and F and F2. We can still review these, and we would have noted that all of them has been filled, and the total cast ballots here for Methodist Church here is 29. That's 291. Total registered 463. 262 for the Unity Labour Party, 26 for the New Democratic Party. Rejects 3. We're looking at E to L, 435. Total registered Unity Labour Party, 234, while the New Democratic Party, 34. And the cast ballots here, 268, 0 rejects. Going down further to F2, we will see M to Z for surnames, 395 registered, 220 Unity Labour Party, 1717 New Democratic Party, 1717 New Democratic Party. Total cast ballots here, 237, 0 rejects there. This is all filled. We have gone through all of these except for, G1, which is at the Pearl Best Early Childhood Center in Park Hill, and this is J to Z. We are noting 271 registered. Unity Labour Party, 135. Unity Labour Party, 135. New Democratic Party, 28. Cast ballots, 164. Rejects, we are seeing 1. We're seeing 1. We are looking at the chart, and the chart will show the New Democratic Party, 996, 2,577, 2,577 for the Unity Labour Party. We are looking at 24 rejects. All of these areas of the polling station all the results have come in, so we are declaring the North Central Windward, the seat to the Unity Labour Party. We're declaring the North Central Windward.
Okay, so actually this is the first declared seat for the ULP. Of course, Dr. Rav Gonzalez from North Central Windward winning by 2,577 votes compared to the NDP's Chieftain Neptune, 996.
Well, no surprise. No surprise.
Except that I think his votes went down.
Yeah.
Prime Minister's votes went down.
Oh yeah, compared with
Yes.
what? How did we stand in comparison?
Yes,
You
he
got them
he
there?
had 2,872 last election, and Chieftain Neptune got 883.
Oh wow.
So the Prime Minister went down.
He had 76% of the support last time, and now he only has 71.
Yeah.
He had 76 last time.
I know he
Now
has 71. Yeah. So.
A natural attrition, I think.
What normally happens with a swing like this is that constituencies like his lose support faster. So to be honest, I think he's lucky to have gotten away with such a small increase, because normally a party would lose more support, in this kind of this kind of a swing. Yeah, but he seems to have been able to
I was to
contain it.
ask you, the PNM under Eric Williams, how many elections did they win? Was it up to 30 years? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember, but it wasn't as, the problem is it
long.
wasn't continuous.
It wasn't continuous.
It wasn't continuous because it was
broken.
often interrupted. Yeah,
That's what I was thinking.
So I think that after St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Dominica would have the record for longest continuing. Antigua and Trinidad and Tobago were both interrupted at various points, with a one-term.
And Dominica's had how many years now?
20. I think this is 4 terms. Yeah, 20 years. Yeah.
20, yes.
Yeah, the only difference is that Skerritt came in midterm. So he didn't win the first election, but he won the second. But otherwise, the Labour parties have been in power for similar amounts of time. But he himself hasn't been in all of that time.
So you were elected before Gerlin
No.
Miguel?
No, Gerlin was
Teresa
elected in
Mahoney.
1998 when she beat Wiley.
Yeah.
No, you're speaking soft.
Yes. So you were
What are
saying?
talking?
Yeah.
Yes, she was elected in 1998 in the big swing.
Right.
Then re-elected in 2001, and I was elected in 2001.
Okay.
Then she was re-elected in 2005. I was re-elected in 2005. She was elected back in 2010 and 15, and nobody else. Then she came from 98 right over. But since in the 2000s, when we took government, I am the only new woman who was elected. Yeah? So this time, it took 24 years for another woman to get elected.
Yes.
It's not a
That's a
kind
long
place for
time.
women politicians.
Yeah. Just women are still...
I am convinced that this vote really it's not really against the ULP's record, but for a new direction. I think the record wasn't bad, but people needed a new direction.
Change.
But
Just
a
change.
new direction in terms of what exactly, though?
Well, something different.
Like what?
It is difficult. I don't think they can quantify it or enumerate it. What I do know is that they needed a change. That's what happens when you've been there for some time.
But this is why I'm challenging you to say what exactly it
Is
is.
the change.
Is the change, but
Yeah.
a change of what? A change of leader.
No.
When people say to me that they want a new direction, and I ask them what exactly it is are you looking for? In the case of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, if you look at the development trajectory that you're on now, most of the major big ticket issues are dealt with. So you have a hospital in the works, you have the airport, the seaport is done. Public transportation will perhaps need
can't be
some
on the
investment. I'm sorry?
It cannot be on the record. It has to be changed into a different direction because
Well, but I'm trying to find out from you what's the direction.
No, you've asked me the question as to what direction. Now, as I'm not, I'm the only voter here. The country I'm talking about.
Oh, you're the only voter?
But when you mention those issues, you are enumerating the record of the ULP, which I said. I don't think it is on the record. If you voted on ULP's record, you'll vote for the ULP. So it has to be a change because the ULP has been there for a long period of time. It can't be another reason. Whatever change that they have in their mindset, each individual has something that he or she wants to see accomplished.
Right.
And then collectively, they accomplish that. It has to do. It cannot be on the record. It has to be,
I'm not, you misunderstand me. I'm not speaking about a record. I'm not here to flag a record or whatever. I'm saying that if you're looking at a development trajectory, and I'm saying that for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, the trajectory seems to be fairly clear in terms of the direction that you're going. If it is that you're saying that people want a different direction, I'm just trying to find out what it could be. So I throw some ideas in terms of the types of things. Maybe they want something different. What exactly could that be?
I don't know. But
Right, and I'm suggesting to you that I do know.
Yeah.
And I'm saying that what I think is that people were just exhausted. When I did polls in St. Vincent of late, and you're asking people about their concerns, the polls tell me that the average Vincentian is relatively happy with their life, right? at the same time they want to change the government. And I'm not suggesting that there's anything, conflicting about it. And my conclusion is that you could only be saying that you want to change if you are wanting a change of leader. Because the Unity Labour Party that was elected in 1998, none of the persons are there any longer. It's a completely different slate.
If I may, if I may, I think the crux of the matter is that, and that's why I say, like you said, if people can be on what the government has done. People, I got the impression, have gotten tired of the leadership of Dr. Gonsalves. And it's something that he would probably find very difficult to accept, because he would probably say, look, I've done all these great things, but half of the country, after 24 years, I felt that they've been shut out of the corridors of power. I can speak this way because... hold on, let me finish.
Yeah.
Because I can speak this way because to the average and the people sort of look at me and say, well, I'm one who has benefited from the corridors of power. But I think I've gotten my ears to the ground enough to understand that, and people, I think Vincent just have a sense of what you call fairness. Like, it's too much. You've been there so long. And so when you tell them that, look, your life is better, and I heard Dr. Gonsalves arguing and pushing that our human development index and all that kind of thing. But people, like you said, people don't even know how well they're doing.
That.
No, they don't want to understand that.
All they know, he's been there a long time.
It's just say that.
That's the point you're making.
Which is, and that is, to me, the question then comes down to whether it is legitimate for someone to say they would like to have a different leader after 25 years. I think it's perfectly legitimate.
Yeah, I think
certainly in the United States of America, it's legitimate for them to say they want a different leader every 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, every 8.
Every 8.
Right?
Every 8.
Right, precisely. So they have limited it in that way. And I think that globally we've seen reality emerge where people tend to get to the level of exhaustion. In France, it's 10 years.
Yeah.
And I think that is really more what this is all about. Because
I think so.
When you talk about development alternatives and stuff like that, I am struggling to understand what exactly it is.
Well, Peter, that's why when I tell you, when you look at the NDP's platform, if you really question what they're pushing, it's vacuous. It's really empty. No, but I give you this in 60 days and that kind of thing. And it sounds great to people because you're tired of these set of people like Gwyneth Batista and them who get in all the money for the last 24 years. That's the perception,
It's not necessarily accurate perception.
No, it don't have to be accepted.
No, it's the perception.
Perception is reality.
Yes, perception, yes.
Perception is reality. When a voter sits down, he's not sitting down to work out, boy, is it really accurate?
Yeah.
It's just a feeling.
You know that, unfortunately, the media doesn't really engage on a lot of the regional things as they should. And somebody didn't realize that I held a position on the treaty as Speaker of the OECS.
What was that?
They thought that I was...
What
was that? They keep that, what was that? And so they thought that I was elected or put there by a political party. So, they had recently had to be made aware. No, it's...
But people don't know and don't care about that.
They don't.
It don't change what they put in the pot.
See this person.
It don't change what they put in the pot.
One of the things that I learned over and interestingly enough, I got into political consulting the same year that Dr. Gonsalves got into certainly the
2001.
1998.
98.
Right. One of the things I learned is that it's always a bad idea if we say people don't care about that type of thing, but we believe that they should. Because our role is not to tell people what they should believe in. Our role is essentially to understand what people want and give them. Because that is essentially what a politician, that's what politics should be all about. So I've given up this thing of saying, well, maybe people should be. Like voting, for example. People are at the stage where they're saying, oh, too many young people are not voting. They should vote. And I'm saying, but then why should they vote? They will vote if they want to.
If they want to.
If you don't motivate them to want to vote and they don't vote, then it's you, not them.
1984.
And it's a good time for us to go and get some more results. We pick this up.
We do have some results. We are looking at polling station A. polling station A, the Church of the Nazarene. We have a slew of them, results coming in. So polling station A, Church of the Nazarene in Rillen Hill. A to I, last names A to I, we're seeing 493 registered to vote, 493. We're looking at the Unity Labour Party, 130, that's 130, and the New Democratic Party we are seeing 152, New Democratic Party 152. IND represented by Doris Charles, we are seeing 4 cast ballots, we are seeing 287, reject 1. This is the independent individual, Doris Charles, who is running. We are seeing A1, the Church of the Nazarene again, J to Z, we are seeing 480 persons registered, 480 registered, 133, the Unity Labour Party, 133, Unity Labour Party. The New Democratic Party, we're looking at 130. We have 3 for the independent runner, we are seeing 3, and for cast, we're seeing 270. Rejects, we're looking at 4. We skip right over, jump right over, we're looking at D, polling station D in the community center in Retreat, and we're going to go down to D1. That's A to J. We're seeing 358 registered, 107, the Unity Labour Party, 107, and 103, the New Democratic Party, 103, New Democratic Party, we're seeing 0 for the independent runner, 1, we're seeing in total cast 211, that's 211, 1 reject, D1, same Retreat, we're looking at K to Z, we are seeing 331 registered, 108 for the Unity Labour Party, 9090 for the New Democratic Party, while the independent Doris Charles 0. 199 cast ballots. We are looking at 1 reject here. We're skipping over to F, which is at the government school in Kittels. We are seeing 561 registered to vote, and we're seeing 115, the Unity Labour Party, while 212, the New Democratic Party, 1 for the independent runoff, Doris Charles, 1, and total cast ballots here is 329. We have 1 reject. We're going to go right on over to F2, the government school again, P to Z, we're seeing 538 registered, 110 for the Unity Labour Party, while the New Democratic Party 214, we are looking at 2 for the independent Doris Charles, 2, while the cast ballots there is 327, 0 rejects in this polling station. We're seeing polling station G at the Methodist Church in Chauncey. A to H, registered to vote 399. The Unity Labour Party 125. The New Democratic Party 120. Independent 2. 248 cast, 248 1 reject. We're going over to H1. That's at the secondary school in Camden Park. Secondary school is surnames D to G, 302. We are seeing the Unity Labour Party 34 and the New Democratic Party 135, while the independent 0. Cast ballots here 169, 0 rejects. H2 in the same area of the secondary school in Camden Park, H to M 487,487, and we're seeing for the Unity Labour Party we're looking at 64, while the New Democratic Party we're seeing 225, the independent runner 2. We're looking at cast ballots here 293, 2 rejects, and H3, N to Q, 260, Unity Labour Party 24, New Democratic Party 134, independent, 1 independent runner 1, while we have cast ballots 159. We're still outstanding a couple of them. We're still outstanding 3 on this end, and in the front we have a couple more. We're just awaiting the results to come in. We are looking at the graph. We'll see the graph shows 1,515. That's 1515 for the New Democratic Party, Nigel Stevenson, while the Unity Labour Party, represented by Grenville Williams, 950. That's 950. The independent runner, represented by Doris Charles, 15 and 11 rejects. These are the results for now. No, as I noted before, we still have outstanding. We still have a couple more. We have quite a bit here.
Okay.
Yes. So we're just waiting for results to come in, and we're able to have those on the screen.
Quite a large constituency too.
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so there we go. Of course, Nigel Stevenson is in the lead there, as
This is his
is
third
expected.
term. No, fourth.
This could be.
Probably his 4th.
2010.
This is his 4th term.
4th.
10, 15, 20. This is his fourth term.
It appears in the clean sweep. Well, all but one. Yes, it reminds me of 2001, 12-3. Well, it seems to be a clean sweep. It seems as if the NDP
A
will
clean sweep to me would be 15-0.
15. Well,
No,
clean sweep.
you're sweeping. There's some dust in the blood, but it can't be a quick sweep.
We call it
You're trying to
a clean sweep, but something will be
You're
left
trying
back.
to clean the yard, but some stones there.
Will be left back.
Some stones standing out there, and they're moving.
I mean,
To me, the real lesson in this is that the previous election result is essentially the key to understanding what happened.
yeah.
And historically, we've had elections like this across the region. Barbados in 1981, we had an election like this that preceded the 1986 landslide. In 2013, we had a similar election like this, and it preceded the 2018 landslide where Bondi won all the seats. And what I sense is that the electorate set the scenario up in 2020, where you had a slew of seats that are with these very small margins, that you talk a pack of cigarettes here and there.
Oh yeah.
And once you have a slight shift in the election after, you know, it's almost a foregone conclusion. And the only person that seems to be insulated from this is Dr. Gonzalez, who took a small hit, but fortunately he was able to, it wasn't a huge hit. Well, I mean, you can't really change a seat like that so quickly. But all of the others were within this plus or minus 5% margin.
Yeah.
And, you know, it clearly has been gone beyond the 1 or 2 that was needed. And it's now, you know, what we could call political carnage.
I totally agree with you that the writing was on the wall from 2020. And people were calling even within the ULP, were calling for change, even in leadership. It didn't happen. And I think that is where a lot of the decline started. I think I picked up a lot of discontent with him, but there's a lot of respect for the Prime Minister. He's a very hard worker. You know, people love him, but after a while, you can love someone and say, look, it's time, you know, Daddy, it's time that we grow up now. You know, you let us go on our own. You can't keep us back all the time.
But I don't
you know?
think a leadership change would have made a difference.
No, but it would be.
I believe it
possibly
would
be the beginning of something. Something. Yeah.
If we're going to agree that a lot of the issues we are talking about today in terms of development and stuff, that it came down to a question of leadership, then leadership must have made a difference.
Yes.
Yeah.
Could make a difference, yeah.
To the results that we're seeing now, if there was someone other than Dr. Gonzalez there, I don't think so at all. I think the results could have been the same or even worse. I think so.
I'm not persuaded by that.
Yes,
I do feel that if we are going to agree that this was the one fundamental elephant in the room, then if you change that or addressed it in a serious way, the result could have been different. That's my sense, because I'm still not convinced that there were any fundamental issues beyond that which the population was so overwhelmingly concerned about.
No,
But if you look at the trends, and I have them statistically, they were losing the lead
Right.
Yeah.
as elections go ahead.
Yeah.
So a change of leader would not have stopped the downward trend, because the NDP was in descendancy. The NDP had a lot more votes in the last election than the Unity Labour Party, over 2,000 votes. Change in the leader, he had to have been vibrant, and he had to have been special, he had to have done something extraordinary for him to have pulled back those 2,000 votes and to reduce in a major way the trust that we have seen from the New Democratic Party since the last election. So a leadership in the ULP would not have made a difference at all to the results.
Yeah, but if you're looking at a party
to the
continuing, you're looking at a party continuing. You might have a dip, but it might be a dip, so you can rise again.
It
Might be a dip that's necessary.
2001 was 12-3. 2005, 12-3.
Yeah.
But you saw the Kingstown
Yes.
Yeah.
to going to disappear.
8-7.
If you don't do,
Yeah.
right, then
8-7.
8-7.
And 8-7.
Yeah.
Then 9-6.
You're right.
2010,
Yes.
2015,
Yes.
8-7.
Yes.
So it's a pattern.
Yes.
Put it
Yes.
on the guys. Put it on your computer.
It was
You have
obvious.
it. 12-3, 12-3, 8-7,
8-7.
8-7.
Then 9-6 marginally.
Then you bounce back.
9-6. One
But
vote.
you didn't do
The work.
Yeah, but
It is difficult. You see, the issue is that you have to understand the people. And I don't want to say it's herd mentality, but it's the fact that when the sense change, they move in the direction of change, irrespective of the message that's given to them, unless it's destructive. If the sense change, they move. But if you ask them why, they can't tell you why. But they will move because they have that feeling there needs to be a change. I mean, too long into that and those sort of things. And the trend was obvious. It cannot be explained scientifically. You have to know the people and understand them, because they move, they mobilize. For example, if you were to look at both meetings, what I identified was that you had a tremendous number of persons looking at the NDP meetings on social media as compared to ULP. It was constant. You move from one meeting to the next, you'll have more people looking at NDP
Online.
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 So then you're thinking, so when that happens, they're trying to find out what's happening on that side. They're trying to get a message on that side, trying to hear. That's where they want to follow. They're following them because they prefer them. And there's no scientific explanation for that. The problem is that people sometimes vote because of all reasons. And when you come into the end of your tenor, what will happen is that they'll just vote you out. I mean, we saw it with the NDP.
Can we take some results?
Yes.
We do have some new results, and the results, we'll be looking at the entire of Western Georgia. we seem to have all of the results in, so we will be starting from polling station A, which is the government school in Belmont, A to Z. That's registered votes 522. That's 522. Unity Labour Party, we're looking at 129. While the NDP 169. New Democratic Party 169. Independent, Kerr Cattell's, that's 6 independent, 6 cast ballots here, 306 reject. We are seeing 2. We're also looking at B at the Methodist School. That's a Gombe Methodist School in Daphne. We're seeing from A to J, surnames A to J, 523. The Unity Labour Party, we're seeing 88. That's 88. And also, we're seeing a New Democratic Party, 242. That's 242. Independent, 2. Cast ballots here, 334. 334 rejects 2. We're seeing B1 in the same area in the Daphne, which is a Gombe Methodist School. K to Z, 336. 336. Unity Labour Party 56. Unity Labour Party 5656. New Democratic Party, we're looking at 139. Independent 1. We're seeing cast 196. That's 196, 0 rejects. Glad Tidings Tabernacle in Gombe. This is polling station C. We're seeing A to J surnames, 445 registered. 445 registered. Unity Labour Party 133. While the New Democratic Party 139. We're seeing Independent 1. Cast ballots here 196. Glad Tidings, we're going to go over Glad Tidings Tabernacle, A2J, 445, 133, Unity Labour Party, 139, New Democratic Party, 2 for the Independent, 275, cast ballots, 1 reject. C1, we see Etty Gibson residence in Daphne, K2Z, 311 registered, 87 for the Unity Labour Party, 87, Unity Labour Party, New Democratic Party, 102, New Democratic Party, Independent, 2 Independent, for the Independent, that would be Kerr Cattell's, and we're looking at cast ballots here, 193, 2 rejected. Polling station D, the government school, that's a primary school in Bel Air. D and D1, D2 and D3, we'll be looking at all of these. A to C, 433, 433 persons registered. 97 for the Unity Labour Party, 97 New Democratic Party, 174 Independent runner, 272 cast, 1 reject. D1 in the primary school in Bel Air, the government primary school in Bel Air. D to J, last names, D to J, 471 registered to vote. 89 for the Unity Labour Party, 89, 198 for the New Democratic Party, while 5 for independent runner, 5 for the independent candidate, 5. We're seeing 295 total cast ballots here, 295, 3 rejects. We're looking at D2, the secondary school in Bel Air. We're seeing secondary school, the Western George Secondary School. We're seeing K to P surnames, 333 registered to vote, 74 for the Unity Labour Party, 124 for the New Democratic Party, 124, independent candidate 2. We're seeing 201 cast ballots, 201 cast, 201, 1 reject. Secondary school, we're still in the secondary school, looking at D3 polling station, Q to Z, we're seeing 342 registered to vote, 48 for the Unity Labour Party, 154 for the New Democratic Party, while the independent candidate 2, we are 204 cast ballots. We have 0 rejects in this end. We are seeing E at the Public Works building in Arnesville, polling station E. We are seeing A to E, 472 registered to vote, 119 for the Unity Labour Party, 119, New Democratic Party 154, New Democratic Party 2 for the independent candidate, 275 cast ballots, 275, 0 rejected. E1 still in the Public Works building area in Arnesville. F to L, we see 473, 110 for the Unity Labour Party, 172, New Democratic Party, independent candidate 2, 289 cast ballots, 5 rejected, 5 rejects. We have E2 in the same area of the Public Works, M to Z, 508. We're looking at 116 for the Unity Labour Party, 116, while the New Democratic Party